Impact segment tonight, the anti-Obama forces in America have seized upon the Congressman Joe Sestak story, whereby the Obama administration tried to get him out of the Senate race against Arlen Specter with a job offer. Now, that could be illegal. Here's what Sestak said on Friday about Bill Clinton's involvement in the matter.
He called last summer, and during the conversation, he talked about how tough this Democratic primary might be if I got in, and then brought up that during a conversation Rahm Emanuel had brought up about a presidential board of something, you know, if I were to stay in the House.
So he would be an advisor on that board. Now the question is the right wing overplaying the story? Joining us now from Washington, Fox News analyst Juan Williams and Mary Catherine Ham. Overplaying, Mary Catherine?
Well, I think there's some histrionics involved here that are attendant in any political scandal in Washington. But I do think also that there's a fishy story here. There's a statute that may have been violated. They haven't been able to get their facts right, and the White House spent 3 months getting the facts together and telling what they claim is the truth. So I think what Republicans, to some extent, are trying to do is push the ball forward here and get the White House to actually come clean on this.
Now that statute
I think they
that you
succeeded in some
mentioned,
ways by getting reporters to ask questions about
that
this.
statute is, that Mary Catherine mentioned, Juan, is Section 600 of the Federal Criminal Code, makes it illegal to promise anyone an appointment in exchange for political activity. So it seems like that might have been violated. Now, George Will and other conservatives say, oh, this is insane, you shouldn't be doing this, and all this. But now, and yeah, I mean, I'm not a far-right nut. I mean, I'm saying to myself, okay, look, this is what I know. This is what O'Reilly knows. Sestak announces he's going to run against Specter. White House doesn't want that. They want Specter to win. So Bill Clinton goes out, big kahuna, all right, at Rahm Emanuel's request. Emanuel's second most powerful man in the country. Says, hey, you know, Joe, might be better for you to stay in Congress, because if you do, we're going to get you a big job on a presidential advisory board. We're going to take care of you. Now, to me, I'm saying makes it illegal to promise an appointment in exchange for political activity. Am I, you know, come on, Juan, tell me where I'm wrong here.
Because what you're doing is criminalizing basic
I'm not doing it. That's
exchanges.
The law, Juan. I didn't do it. I didn't pass
Nobody.
it.
You know what? There's no jury in America that would say, oh, my God, they were doing politics in Washington? Stop it, stop it.
Whoa,
no, come on, be for real.
Let
me just tell you
You're
something.
telling me there's no jury in America reading this statute, and then Sestak walks in and testifies that the former president of the United States, on the behest of the White House chief of staff, came in and offered me a presidential board appointment if I dropped out. Come on. I'm on that jury, Juan. I'm listening to that.
Not one jury. Let me just tell you something. The jury would say, wait a minute, you mean they were doing something that Republicans, like the former Attorney General Michael Mukasey, say, you know what, it's just politics. They're doing stuff that other political advisors to former President Bush say, just politics.
So the jury is going to say, jury of regular folks, not Washington pinheads.
Exactly.
Well, let's say they're in Tupelo, Mississippi. And that jury's
they're not going to say,
you know, I'm not going to convict anybody here.
In jail.
I'm not going to convict anybody here, because in the past, there was bad behavior also on the other party. No,
it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. It's not worth an investigation. Now, I saw Darrell, Issa, who's the congressman from California, the other day. He said to me, you know what, maybe you should have FBI agents ask the 3 or 4 people involved, because it's illegal to lie to an FBI agent. But he says, you know what, a special prosecutor, a special independent investigator, come on, there's too much of that. It's not worth it. And who's going to put Bill Clinton in jail for talking to a guy who's a big political supporter?
I know a lot of people who would put Bill Clinton in jail. Now, Juan, I'm a simple man. Mary Catherine, you know how simple I am. It doesn't get simple. Simon laughs at me. I'm that simple. I'm seeing the law right in front of me, and I'm seeing Sestak said that's exactly what happened, and I'm going, the law says this, Sestak says that. Nobody denies it. It looks like they broke the law. Am I wrong?
Right. I think you're right. And if there shouldn't, you know, if this is politics as usual and that's how Washington is going to do business, then I think this is where Juan's wrong, is that regular folks are going to say, then why is there a Section 600?
Yes, why is this law
have the Democrats write out a bill that just repeals this and say, we're done with it. We're just going to do the whole horse trading thing from now on. But
it looks like they violated the law here. Now, whether they prosecute or not, I don't know. I mean, I'm not encouraging a witch hunt. But if you read the law, Juan, it says Sestak is telling the truth, and I think he is. There was a violation here.
But listen,
Let me tell you something.
Go ahead.
Let
Let Mary Catherine go, and then I'll give one last word. Go.
It's important to understand what's driving this story here. One, the White House's bad handling of it, but two, the mood of the country. It was Obama himself who promised that politics would not be as usual when he got here, and he raised the expectations, and the gap between his rhetoric and his actions is what's driving normal people who would sit on that jury to say, hey, if this is how things are done,
but there's also
that's not how they should be done.
There's some ideology in play here.
There is, of course, but there is a shift in the national mood where this kind of thing is new to them, and they're saying this is not acceptable.
All right, 20 seconds, Juan, go.
Well, I mean, Mary Catherine's right. The mood is, you know, sort of anti-incumbent, anti-authority, all that. But the fact is, look, Bill, if you cross the street illegally, 9 times out of 10, the cops close their, go ahead, cross it if you're going to kill yourself. Don't spit on the ground. I've seen you spit on the ground. You know, don't do this, don't do that. Washington has people making deals. Politics is about compromise and deals.
This
and
is
people
big,
just say on a jury, forget this. Why did you even bring this in court? It's a waste of time.
All right, it's big, though. Former President of the United States, President Chief of Staff, that's why.